How are you? My name is Dr. David Karam. I'm with the Southwest Institute for Medical Research. We're located here in El Paso, Texas. This is our main research facility. We have research facilities in Accra, Ghana, in Western Africa, Belize City, Belize, Juarez, Mexico, Zagreb, Croatia, and Riga, Latvia. I'd like to take you on a tour through our main research facility. We would like to invite you to come and visit with us, if you'll please follow me. Our laboratory is designed to really maximize what we do in the nutrition industry as well as other medical research. We're really a unique entity in that we can take theories right out of your head and implement them into mechanical drawings or implement them into computer models and then take them into what we call the wet lab, which we're going to talk about, and we'll show you around here in a little bit. So we're going to come through. Here we are in the backbone of the facility. This is the wet lab. In our wet lab, we have the ability to do every type of chemical analysis that one may want to do from a scientific standpoint. One of the best things that we have is an availability for a tool for you and to demonstrate the effectiveness of the products is really a piece of software. We have a chemical modeling software that we use that makes it really beneficial for us to be able to take the idea that the client comes to or that we develop on our own, develop it onto the computer, look at it from a standpoint of what we call efficacy to see whether or not the things that we draw up on the blackboard or on the chalkboard really do have some true life implications. In other words, just because it looks good on a chalkboard doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work functionally in the human body. Our modeling software gives us the availability of creating chemical models, structural models, so that we can look at it from a standpoint of, does this really make sense? And then we can translate that into the wet lab and how we do the benchtop modeling as well as samples, and then turn that into full-blown production. So this saves us a lot of time, makes us very efficient, and really benefits everyone from the consumer because we can show how this works, we can show the effectiveness with which it works, right on down to how it translates into the manufacturing, so we can help keep some costs down and make this work as best as possible. In the laboratory, as we look around the laboratory, we have a pretty unique approach here in that our approach to science is nothing is off limits. We have the availability from a technical standpoint to do gas chromatography, HPLCs, mass spectroscopies, which are all fancy words that we use for chemical analysis and chemical IDs. We also have the availability to do every type of titrations, extraction processes that one may want to see. When we do extractions, we've done a significant amount of research with regards to extractions particularly. We don't look at just the traditional water or alcohol extractions. We really have spent a significant amount of time in developing high pressure alternative extraction processes. Things where traditionally when the Chinese looked at extractions from herbal products many, many years ago, thousands of years ago in fact, they were using alcohol or just waters. Here we're looking at using things like carbon dioxides under pressures that will be as great as 18,000 psi. Really, what does that mean to you? It means that we get a very pure product with a very high yield so that we can again maximize our manufacturing and produce the best product available. It also leads back to what we do from the computer modeling. It tells me that because of the purities that we can achieve, the ability for you to translate that through the gastrointestinal tract and make it absorb is much greater. Therefore, the products that you get are going to become very effective products and very good delivery mechanisms. Let's walk over here for a minute. As we look through the lab, one of the interesting things we see is the type of microscopy we have available. We have available everything from scanning electron microscopy, which means I can look at things as they go from the molecular level across a cellular membrane. We have phase contrast microscopy and traditional microscopy. So when we talk to you about how things like a creatine is absorbed into the muscle tissue, we can look at those things from a histologic standpoint. In other words, right down to the fiber, and look at how those supplements that we may design are actually tracked across the cell membrane and absorbed into the muscle tissue or into the gastrointestinal tract. So we can really modify things if we need to. We can make them either less transportable or more transportable. We can even look at whether or not the mechanism for delivery would be better to be a transdermal cream or to take it as a pill. From a delivery mechanism, we look at a lot of different delivery mechanisms as well. We look at things as transdermal creams, we look at thin strip technologies, and we also look at the traditional tablets, powders, and capsules. So all those things that we talk about in traditional nutritional delivery, we do those, but we also look at real cutting edge types of delivery. And that's really what our mission has been, to be challenged and challenge our researchers to come up with new types of delivery mechanisms. As we look across the lab, we have a couple of different isolation chambers so that we can look at every type of condition possible that one may look at once they take a tablet or a pill. What makes it better to grow certain crops or products? Is it better to package certain things in an environment that has a higher nitrogen content? All of those things we're able to do here, on top of the traditional analytic work or microbial work. We can look at how sugars, different types of sugars, may interact within different types of products that we may develop. So we can really benefit by how we pick and choose the products or the constituents that go into those products. That way, when we put a product out to you and you take one of the products that have been formulated by us, you know that it's not just something that we dreamt up that night and came in the next morning and decided to put into a capsule. We have a significant amount of science that goes behind it, and we make sure that those products that are being brought to you have very sound science behind them, so that you know when you're taking one of the products that are formulated by us and they're really going to work, not just we hope that they work or we think they're going to work. The beautiful thing that we have here is, again, the flexibility and the challenge to the researchers to make things new, to make them very cutting edge, and to make sure that what we come up with are going to be products that really benefit you as an individual and traditionally mankind as a whole. That's been our mission all along.